Hey musical explorers, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to continue to do our level 2 theory book. Alright musical explorers, so today we're going to be doing lesson 7 on time signatures. Also, my phone stand has been acting really weird recently, and that's why I already highlighted some information here because I tried recording it like for 5 minutes, but then my phone stand just fell over, so I'm gonna re-record it. But now this is gonna be my second time doing this lesson, but it's all right. I'm just gonna do everything again. But anyways, so today we're gonna learn about time signatures. The time signature is found at the beginning of the music, to the right of the key signature. The time signature is made up of two numbers. So it kind of looks like a fraction in math, but for example, if we have 4, 4, it's going to look like that. And we're not going to draw this line over it like that. That's a fraction. We're not in math. So in music theory, we just do 4, 4, just 2 4s like that. And so here we have our clef. Here we have our key signature. And here we have our time signature. Okay. So this little C symbol right here is sometimes used instead of 4, 4. C stands for common time. The top number of the time signature tells how many beats or counts are in each measure. The bottom number tells what type of note receives one beat or count. So the highlighted parts are really, really important to memorize or to just remember. So yeah. And here's an example of a time signature. It's in 2/4. So that means top note first. So 2 beats or counts per measure. And the 4, which we can think of it as, okay, so it says that it's quarter note, which looks like that, receives 1 beat or count. But how do we know that it's quarter note? Well, you can think of it as a fraction. So we can think 1/4. So that is a quarter, right? So we can just think, oh, quarter. Okay, so that means it's quarter note receives 1 beat. Okay. When the bottom number of a time signature is 4, it is a quarter note. Oh, hold on. When the bottom number of a time signature is a 4, a quarter note receives 1 beat. As in these examples, other types of counting are possible. So we can see that a quarter note equals that note right there. Or if it is a rest, it looks like that. That's the quarter rest. And those will equal 1 beat. So it will look like this. So that means, oh, one of these quarter notes means 1 beat. 2 of it means 1 and 2. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay. Now we have half. So half note is actually 2 times, so basically 1 quarter note equals, 1 half note equals 2 quarter notes. So basically what I'm trying to say here is this note equals this note and this note. So this 1 note equals 2 of these. So half note or half rest looks like that. So that means if this is in the context of 4, 4, then this will have 2 beats because they're twice as long. So this 1 note is going to be 1, 2, 1, 2. Or so if it's in 4, then it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now we have dotted half note. So dotted half note means, so if we ignore the little dot next to it, that is basically a half note, isn't it? So we have 2, right? 2 beats plus the dot. The dot means half. The dot means half of this note. And half of this note, if it's a 2, half of 2 is 1. So we plus another 1. The dot will equal 1. So it's 2 plus 1 equals 3 beats. So this note right here receives 3 beats in 4, 4. So that means it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. That's the rhythm. Okay, now we have whole note. Whole note just means it is 4 beats. 4 beats, okay? That means it takes up the whole entire measure. So it's gonna sound like 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now let's do eighth notes. So eighth notes are 1/2, it's 1/2 of a beat, which means it is half of the quarter note. So let's write it like this. So this means this quarter note right here equals 2 eighth notes. So it's gonna look like that. So one of this equals 2 of these. So here we have 8 of these eighth notes, right? So the rhythm is gonna sound like 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can use the and in between it. So it's gonna be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay. Now we have a whole rest. Whole rest means 1 whole measure of rest. It's pretty simple, okay? Awesome. So this might take some time to learn. If you're kind of confused, it's okay, but we will it's gonna be easier as we go on, and you're gonna understand it more and more. But just try your best to understand what's going on right now. So yeah. Okay, so let's see. Okay, in 2/4, the first beat of each measure is strongest. So in 2/4, the first beat, I just repeated what it says. So the first note of these measures are going to be the strongest. They have that's called an accent, that little symbol right here. So this right here is an accent, and that means to play the note stronger than other notes. And in 3/4 beat, the first beat of each measure is the strongest. Okay, now in 4/4 beat, the first beat of each measure is strongest, but the third beat is also a strong beat, but not as strong as beat 1. So I'm gonna write this out, or highlight it. So those are some important things to remember. So as we can see in the 4/4, the first beat is still the strongest since it has an accent, but the third beat right here is also strong. But see how it's just one line? That means a tenuto. Tenuto means it's strong, but not too strong, not as strong as the accent. So the accent is stronger than the tenuto, but tenuto is still stronger than a regular note like that, okay? Awesome. So fill in the blank. The first one is given. Now we're gonna write this out in this format kind of. So I'm gonna write this out. I don't know if it's necessary to actually, you know what, we'll do it. It's okay, we have time. So this is gonna be, actually I'm gonna shorten it because I don't want to write the whole entire sentence, but you guys definitely can write out the whole sentence if you want to for better memorization. But let's write it out. So here we notice there's a 3 on top, so it's 3 beats per measure. So then, this can kind of represent 3 beats per measure, and the first beat is strongest, and 3/4 as well. So I'm gonna write strongest first. Strongest first. let's try beat as well because that's going to be kind of confusing. Okay, so 3 beats per measure. Strongest beat is first beat. Okay, now we see a 4 on the bottom. 4, remember, is basically saying 1/4, right? That is quarter. So we know quarter note receives 1 beat or count. So quarter note equals 1 beat. Just like that. Quarter note equals 1 beat. Now let's do the same thing down here. So we know it's 4 beats per measure. So here it's a little different because remember, here the first is strongest, but third is also strong, but not the strongest. So I'm gonna write strongest first beat, and strong, not strongest, but strong, is third beat. Because remember from over here where we read it, we can also write that down, okay? Okay, so now we're gonna do the bottom. Again, it's a 4. That means it's quarter note receives 1 beat. So quarter note equals 1 beat. Just like that. Awesome, we're done. Okay, now we're gonna do number 2. Write counts between the clefs for these examples. Draw accents, or these little marks, on the strong beats. The first measure is given. Okay, so we have to do this for all the measures. They gave us the first measure for the Minuet in G by J.S. Bach. So, let's read this. The accents are only intended to demonstrate strong and weak beats within the meter. They are not meant to indicate that every strong beat receives an accent. Okay, so basically what it's trying to say is, like, this accent doesn't really mean, like, it doesn't really mean, it doesn't mean that, like, this note receives, like, an accent, like, you have to, like, play it really loud. It just means it is a strong beat, I guess, and you're not supposed to, like, accent it, if that makes sense. But yeah. Okay, let's do the next one. So here we have quarter, quarter, quarter. So here, okay, again, let's highlight the time signature, 3, 4. So 3 beats per measure, and quarter note receives 1 beat. So here we can see this is a quarter note. There's 3 quarter notes, right? That means, and what is 1 quarter note receives? 1 beat, right? So that means this quarter note receives 1 beat. This quarter note receives the second beat. And that quarter note receives the third beat. So it's just going to be 1, 2, 3. Okay? And now we're going to draw the accent in this measure. It is the first note that receives that is the strong beat. Okay, next one. Ooh, we have a similar pattern. Do you see it? Yeah, so now we have, 1 quarter note, so that's going to receive 1 beat. But now we have 2 eighth notes. So instead of writing just 1, 2, 3, we have to write the ands, because there's there's also, how do I explain it? Because there's also like eighth notes, I guess, because we also have to like count them out. So it's 1, 2. Now this right here represents a and. Okay, actually, instead of drawing that fancy and, I'm just gonna write and equals plus. So 1, 2, and this is gonna be our beat 3. 3 and. Does that make sense? Okay, now we're going to draw the accent on the first beat. Now we have same exact thing almost. Also 3 quarter notes. So they're just each going to receive 1 beat. Oh, by the way, this rhythm is going to be, okay, so if it's 1, 2, 3, it's going to be 1, 2, 3. That's going to be the rhythm. Okay, and again, accent on first beat. Good. Okay, well, I keep saying accent on the first beat, but it just means the first beat is strongest. Okay, now let's do the next excerpt. Let's see, now we're in 2/4 time. So this means 2 beats per measure and quarter note receives 1 beat. So here, also remember you could always use the bottom line. Have to also consider the bottom line as well. So yeah. Now we're gonna do, okay, so there's 2 beats. So since there's 4 notes, then we also have to add the ands, right? So not only numbers, but also the ands. So it's gonna be 1 and 2 and. Got it? And that looks like same pattern, right? So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. So basically the 1 means both of these. Okay, so 1 means this note and means, okay, So 1 means this, 1 and means this one, but then 1 and together is this note right here. Okay, now let's do the next one. So here again, we have 2 eighth notes. So it's 1 and, but we have these quarter notes. So we have just 2. You can add an and if you want, but that just means like you hold it for that and, right? Hold this note for the and. So the rhythm for the treble clef is going to be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and, hold on. Yes, so 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. So that here, you hold for 2 and, okay? Good. Now, the bass clef, really easy. It's just, we have 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. So, pretty simple. But now we have to add the accents in all the measures. So in 2/4 time, the first beat is strongest. So we're going to add like accents on the first beats. So like so. Awesome. Now let's do Sonatina in G by Beethoven. So now we're in 4/4 time. Okay. So now we're gonna do, okay, so quarter note receives 1 beat. Oh, hold on, sorry. Four beats per measure, and quarter note receives 1 beat. So here we have half notes. That means they are 2 beats. So we're gonna write these as 1, 2, like squeeze them together. And then here we have 3, and because of this 8th note, 4, this 8th note. This 8th note is another and. So it's 1, so it's 1, 1, 2, 3, hold on, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Okay, good. Now see how this also matches the left hand or the bass clef? So yeah, so this 1, 2 is this, and the 3 and 4 and is this. Okay, now we're going to do the next one. So we see a quarter note. That's one beat. Eighth notes all the way. So it's going to be like number and. So it's going to be 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay. Now let's do the next one. This has a similar pattern. So it's this also receives 2 notes, or 2 beats. Sorry, this note receives 2 beats. And then we have, again, 3, and 4, and. So same rhythm, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Okay, now we have similar pattern again. So it's just 1. Here we have 2 and 3 and 4 and try to match, like try to put the like counts close to the note that they are in. See how this 1 means this note, the 2 means this note, the and means this note. So yeah. Now let's do accents and tenutos, because first is strongest, third is strong. So first is right here. So we're going to accent that. Let's accent all of the first notes. The notes in the first beat. Now the third beat, which we already written down, are going to receive a tenuto. So third beat, tenuto. Third beat, tenuto. Third beat, tenuto. Okay, that's a little far away. Can't really tell. So we're going to do it up like here. That's good. Okay. Yay. Good job. Now let's look at down here. An 8 as the bottom number of time signature indicates that eighth notes, looks like that, receives 1 beat. However, time signatures with a bottom number of 8 have basic beats of a dotted quarter note, with 3 subbeats within each basic beat. 6/8 has 2 pulses per measure. And you guys can kind of look over this like by yourselves. It's pretty simple. It's really similar to like here, but we're just talking about 8 on the bottom now, and that now when it's 8 on the bottom, this note receives half beat. This eighth note receives 1 beat. This quarter note receives 2 beats. This dotted quarter note receives 3 beats. And this dotted half note receives 6 beats. So you guys can look over that, but I'm just going to go through it really quick like that. Okay. Now in 6/8 beat, 1 is strongest. Beat 4 is also a strong beat, but not as strong as beat 1. So, B1, strongest. Beat 4 is a strong beat, but not as strong as beat 1. Awesome. Now let's do this page. So here we see that there is a fill in the blank. Pretty simple. So if it has a 6 on the top, it means 6 beats in a measure, 6 beats per measure. And 8 means eighth note. Now we can think of it as like, oh, my camera just shook. Okay, so that just means that, right? Isn't that an eighth? Like, that means eighth note. Eighth note, looking like that, receives 1 beat. Good job. Now let's write counts between these examples, and we have to draw the accents on the strong beats. So, we are going to do, let's see, 1. So this is a quarter note. That means now it receives 2 beats because the bottom number is at 8. So that's 1, 2. Now here's 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. Now here we have just 1. So since one of these eighth notes receives 1 beat, that means there are 6 of them. So each of them receives 1 beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And here, same thing with the second measure. We have, again, a quarter note receiving 2 beats. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we do the accents and tenutos on, so the accents on the first beats first, and tenutos on the 4th beat. So 4 is over here, so we put an accent. 4 over here, or not accent, tenuto, sorry. And then 4 is over here, put a tenuto. Good. The rhythm is gonna be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good job. Okay. And see how when we do this, we also have to match it with the bass clef. So this note receives 1, 2. This rest receives 3. The 3 eighth notes receives 4, 5, and 6. Good. Now we're going to do another sonatina in C, but now it's by Spindler. I don't think I've ever heard of him, but let's put the counts in. So again, 6 eighth notes, so that means they all just receive 1 beat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we have, again, 3 eighth notes, which is 1, 2, 3. But now we have a quarter note, which means it receives 2 beats. So this is 4 and 5 together. And this is a quarter rest, so it's a 1 beat. Okay, now similar to measure 1, again, it's just 6 eighth notes. So we're just gonna write them down. And then these two are similar again, so it's just 1, 2, 3. Now this one receives 2 beats, so 4 and 5. And then this is a quarter rest receiving 1 beat, which is 6. Now we are going to draw the accents and tenutos. So on our first beats and tenuto on our 4th beats. So this is the note, 4 and 4. Good. Okay, now let's do number 5. Draw 1 note at the end of each measure to complete this rhythm pattern. This is really fun. I like doing this one. So basically it gives us a 4/4 time, but then we can see that not these measures don't have like 4 beats. Oh, sorry, my camera's like kind of wonky. Let me turn that straight. Okay, so we can see that in each measure there's not 4 beats. They're always missing like some sort of beats, right? So here we're gonna be the one to add the missing beats to it. So let's do that. We're only allowed to add 1 note to complete the measure. Okay, so to do this, I like to write the counts out. So we see that quarter note receives 1 beat, and there's 4 beats per measure, right? So it's 1, and that is 2 and that is 3. But isn't there 4 beats? So that's missing 1 whole beat. And in this case, 1 whole beat is a quarter note. So we're just gonna add a quarter note there, like that. So that is gonna be our 4. I'm just gonna circle the ones that we're missing. Okay, now this is a dotted quarter note. So a dotted quarter note means it is 1 beat first, plus, what is that? Half of 1 beat, which is 1.5, which is 1.5. Wait, not 1.5, it's half, sorry, it's half. So it's 1 and half. So that together is 1.5. But then we have this one, which is also just half. So this is 1 and 2. So we're missing another 2 beats plus another half. So we need another, let's see. Okay, so we need another dotted half note, because then it's 1 and 2. This is the and, so and 3, 4. So this represents 2 beats, so that is our 3 and 4. This dot repeat. I can't speak. Okay, it's okay. Hold on. Sorry. Actually, yeah. Let me see. Sorry, I feel like I made a mistake somewhere. Let's see. So that is 1.5 plus 2. We need half and yeah. Okay, I did it correct. Sorry, I'm like blanking out a bit. But then this note means 2 beats, and this dot means like half beat. So yeah. Oh yeah. So this means 2 beats, and this just means the and. I think that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Now let's do the next measure. So this again is 1. This is 2. This is a quarter, so 3. This is 4. So here we have 1 and, 2 and, 3 and. But then this is 4. But then we're missing another and. So to add a and, we need to add another quarter note. Or half note, I'm sorry. This is a half note. There. Next we have this. So we have 2 beats plus a 3. But then we're missing another whole beat. So we're going to add a whole note. Or not a whole note. I meant a whole beat. So that's going to be 4. Another beat, not a whole beat. I didn't mean like whole note, okay? Good. Okay. So now we're gonna name each note or rest, and the first one is given. So, okay. Here we can see that already gave us a quarter note. Now this is a half note. If you need help with like naming these, just go back and look over like these parts, and you should be able to answer these. But then this one is a half note. This one, if we go back and look over, so this one's facing that way. So it's a half rest. It is a rest. So this wouldn't be a half note, it's a half rest. Now this one is a 8th note. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, I just spelled 8th wrong. Let me just fix that. So sorry. Wait, oh my god, I just forgot how to spell 8th for a second. Sorry, I'm still thinking about this because I feel like I did it wrong, but it's okay. There, 8th note. And now we have a whole. That is a whole whole rest. This is a quarter rest. Or not quarter. I keep saying quarter. Eighth, because there. So that is 1/2. Eighth. Rest. And that is a whole note. And this is a half. So there's half of the whole. So it is half note. Okay? So you guys can look through all of that. And yeah. You guys can review all of the these stuff, like this part, and also like this part, and remember like where the accents and the tenutos are. So yeah. Okay, musical explorers, I'm so sorry, I made a mistake right here. It is supposed to be so here is a dotted quarter note. It is receiving 1 and 2. But then this 8th note right here receives an and. Now we're missing 2 more beats. Now if we look back, what note receives 2 beats? Half note, right? So here, instead of a dotted half note, which is what I wrote before, it is just a half note. So it's going to look like that. And then that is going to be our 3 and 4 and. So yeah, that's how we're actually supposed to do that one. But I believe all of the rest should be correct. But if I do make any mistakes that you notice, please let me know. And I am more than happy to fix them and redo them. So yeah, but I'm terribly sorry for that mistake. But also, I realized I forgot to circle the notes here. So we're going to circle the beats that we added in each measure. So it's going to be this measure with the 4. And in this measure, it's going to be 3 and 4 and. So we're going to circle that. And that is how you do that. So yeah, that's all I had to say. But yeah. Alright, musical explorers, that is it for today's lesson. We learned a lot about time signatures. And again, I'm so terribly sorry for that really dumb mistake right there. But yeah, I was like blanking out a lot and I was thinking about it so hard. I spelled 8th wrong and it was just really messy there. But if you have any questions about it, please let me know and I'll be more than happy to answer them. You guys can find our email down in the description below, or you could just comment your question and we can try to explain it. But yeah, that is it for today's video, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you guys in our next lesson. Bye!